It is.
It's the artist of the week.
You know it. And guess who we got in the building? Bruh.
I just wish they could have heard the combo off air.
Listen, y'all can have it again. I kept telling them to save this for on air because I feel like they ain't gonna remember what they said.
Oh, trust me, it ain't going nowhere. It's there.
I was trying to get the technical stuff. I couldn't chime in because I couldn't focus.
But who we got? We got Shawn Green in the building.
What up, Shawn?
Yo.
What's goody?
Yo, appreciate it, man. Thanks for getting me down here, man. The love is serious down here, man.
No problem. We appreciate you.
We glad, man. Look, we've been anticipating this all week,
yes.
Like just to get you on air, tell your story, and just bless the people.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
dude, like.
Man, it's awesome to be able to use my life story to save others. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many other people can really say, "Hey, man, the things that happen to me in my life is gonna change yours."
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And man, all that painful stuff that happened to me is actually saving people's lives, man.
Wow.
I would have never thought that, you know.
And you know, your story is never for you; it's always for somebody else.
Right.
It's always for someone else. But we're gonna jump right into it.
Look.
I'm itching.
I mean, I want
I'm
you to,
itching to get
because,
to
like
it.
I said, I knew you from back in the day, but I never even know your full story. So
yeah.
I'm about to sit back and just let you just spill it because the bio, I was like, bro, like, dude, I want everything.
Yeah.
So you definitely got to tell us, you know, your background, to start growing up, and then how that all brought you to where you are now.
Yeah. Shoot, man. Man, I grew up in a house full of women. You know, with my grandmother, my 3 sisters, my aunt, and her 2 daughters. And it was rough, man, on me because I didn't have a male figure around. You know what I'm saying? The only male figures I had around were my sister's boyfriends.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And my sister's boyfriends, because we stayed in the hood, were gangbangers and dope dealers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what I seen them admire is what I wanted to be. Wow. You know, a lot of people, you know, kids my age, they sat down and they looked at, you know, cartoons, you know, and they wanted to be those superheroes. You know, I was in that lifestyle where I looked out my window and the superheroes that I saw were drug dealers and gangbangers.
Right.
You know, and it took my attention early. You know, so I got involved in that, man.
Let them know where you're from.
Columbia, SC.
South Carolina.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I come from a small neighborhood called Woodfield Park. It's the hugest thing in our city to us. You know what I'm saying? But man, big ups to all my people out there, man. Y'all know I'm coming out there all day, every day, man, to try to help my fallen brothers get up out that gutter. You know. So you know, my city, man, is hurting so much, and I'm sure a lot of cities are. You know what I'm saying? And my gift to give back that God done blessed me with is this story, this christhop movement, and this passion that He done flamed up in my heart. You did,
for sure.
You know.
So tell us about, you know, in your bio, you tell us that your mother, your father, you know, you just grew up in an environment of drugs. So it was almost like predestined for you to become a part of that lifestyle.
Yeah, it was lined up the way it was, man. You know, as I was a child growing up, my father was a big time, you know, drug dealer, and my mother was with him. And eventually, you know, she became, you know, addicted to the same drugs he was selling.
Wow.
So, you know, my whole life until I started staying with my grandmother was looking down this hallway, seeing them do this on the table, you know, break down this stuff on the table, people coming in all year of the night, and it's me and my onesie.
And you watching it too.
Yeah, when my onesie peeping out of my door, you know, watching it. You know what I'm saying? And until my mom ended up going to prison for 10 years, and my father ended up having to, you know, disappear because of what was going on. I had to go live with my grandmother, and that's where it all started. You know what I'm saying?
So did that kind of leave you in a position to become your own man, or learn to what you thought a man should be, and kind of try to mold yourself into what you thought, you know, you should have been as a man?
I'm gonna tell you a problem that I had growing up. I felt like ever since that happened, everyone that I got close to left. You know what I'm saying? At that point, that's how it was seeming to me. I love my mother, she left. You know, I never really knew my father like that, but my mother, you know, my mother left me, and that's how I felt. I didn't understand it.
And she left because she went to prison.
Yeah, she had to go.
Yeah,
but I didn't understand it.
Exactly. Because
to me, I was like, why? You know what I'm saying? Secondly, you know, when I started growing up in the household with my sisters, you know, they eventually got old enough, had boyfriends, and they moved out. You know, and every time I got close to one of my sisters after another one moved out, they were gone, gone. And then here I am saying every woman that I get close to, you know what I'm saying, was leaving me, and it was hurting me, and it put something in me to make me feel a certain way towards everybody that I, you know what I'm saying.
Because you would think that everybody that come into your life is about to leave.
So that, I can imagine that there was a period where you were probably rough on women because you like, you're going to be going anyway, so I take it serious.
I'm going to tell you something that's crazy. I'm going to tell you something that's crazy about what you just said. It put me in a position to get closer to my grandmother at that point.
Okay. And
my grandmother would always tell me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, your granddaddy used to put his hands on you, Shawn. I bet not ever see this. Your sisters took care of you. And you know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. And so she put it in my heart. The thing is, I'm going to tell you what it did to me, man. At that point that my last sister had left the house, and that my grandma was just looking at me. She was looking at me. I was just sitting on the couch staring one day. I was just dazing off, and I was just thinking about all the things that happened to me. I'm like 10 years old.
Right.
And my grandma came in and she said, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" And I was like, I just don't know who I am no more, Grandma. She said, "Boy, you ain't old enough to know who you are."
Wow.
She said, "You still got to learn that." And I looked at her, and then she looked at me, and she was like, "Shawn, I don't know what I'm going to do with you." And I was like, "Why you say that, Grandma?" I felt like she was like pushing me out.
Right.
She said, "Nah, because I've seen this look before." And my grandma was just like, "I love you, and I'm always here for you." But she was like, "The things that you're about to learn, I promise you, I know you're going to go out there and learn them on your own."
Wow.
And she told me that at 10 years old. I'm going to tell you what's so crazy about it, right? 12 years old. This 2 years later.
Right.
Because that's 10 years old was really when I started jumping off the porch. But I didn't fully jump off the porch until I joined a gang,
Okay.
12 years old, I ended up getting down with Crib. And then, like I said, one of my sister's boyfriends.
Oh, wow.
That was in the neighborhood from her, previous relationship before.
Right.
And what was so crazy was, man, I remember coming back in the house, and my grandma was like, "Yo, come with me to the grocery store right quick. I need your help." I was like, "All right." I rolled with her to the grocery store, and she didn't have enough money to pay for her groceries, and asked me did I have $2. And when I was pulling out my money, my pistol fell out on the counter. Bing! Wow. In the grocery store at Ballo.
Wow.
And what was so crazy,
grandma.
my grandma looked at me, right, and she put the gun in her purse and was just like, "Hey y'all, we okay," you know what I'm saying? And what was so crazy was we got in the car and she was like, "I'm gonna tell you something." She was like, "What's so crazy is," she said, "I know it's bad in this neighborhood and I try so hard, you know what I'm saying, to keep you on the right path." She was like, "But you can't live in my house no more."
Oh, man.
12 years old.
12 years old, man. So where did I go? Where could I go?
The streets.
To the brothers who initiated me,
Exactly.
who said we your family, we your brothers, you know what I'm saying? So here I am, 12 years old on my own, you know what I'm saying? My uncle, I had uncles, man, so I had a lot of uncles that was trying to reach out to me and say, you need to come over here and I can show you this and I can show you that. And, man, I was just running reckless, man. I was really running reckless for like a whole year in the street, you know what I'm saying? A whole year, and then finally, we had some health issues going on in my household, and I came back. But I had already been turned out, you know what I'm saying? It was hard for me to turn it off. You know what I'm saying?
There was no turning back, basically.
Yeah, I couldn't calm down in my household and then be this big animal in the street. You know what I'm saying?
So it was like like you were torn between the good and the bad.
I remember my grandma telling me that one of her friends at church told her I was in a gang. It hurt me because I was trying to hide it so much. Wow. She said, "Shawn, I'm hearing some things. I know you got a huge heart, And she was like, are you in a gang?" And what's so crazy was, I had became so crazy, so just stoned that, my heart was just so black, man. I had been hurt so much,
Right.
I just felt like I'll never lie to my grandma again. I'm about to tell her everything.
Right.
And I was like, yeah. I said, "Grandma, I've been in this thing for about a year and a half now." Wow. I said, "But my brothers love me." I'm telling her this. I'm like, they love me. They down for me. And I ain't never had nobody look out for me like they look out for me. And this, that, and the other.
And Grandma knows. She knew.
She broke down, man. It hurt me. But I had to be real with her.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And she looked up at me and she was just like, "I don't know if you remember this, Shawn. When you was 10 years old, you was sitting on that couch and I saw all the mistakes you was about to make. I saw them."
And she saw that.
And she saw it. She said, "Shawn, and everything that God told me is happening right now."
Do you think that was God's way speaking through your
Like,
grandma? Like that warning sign?
Because it seemed like you had grandma's, voice in your ear this whole period, this whole transition. So, that it had to be some type of impact, even as you got older. Sometimes you would still hear, like, I know they say, right, grandma, this was just grandma, stuff like that.
You're right. I always had that mentality. I never ever had, other than having my pistol on me at all times, that was just a lifestyle.
Right.
I never had drugs in my grandmother's house.
Wow.
You know, I never cursed around her.
Right.
I never smoked around her.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I would make sure that I had 10 pounds of Axe body spray on me. Well, it wasn't out then. You know?
So that would smell good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it was Curve.
Yeah, I was about
Y'all
to
remember
say
Curve, right?
I do remember
I had
Curve.
10 pounds of Curve on before I would walk in my grandmother's house. You know what I'm saying? Because I disrespected her so much, I never wanted to let her see that.
Wow.
And what was so crazy was I was doing so much in the streets, it was getting around back to her, and she couldn't believe the type of person that I was outside of this household.
Because she would see somebody completely different inside.
You know what I'm saying? And knowing what I've been through, and she's knowing my heart, when I faced grandma, and she just knew that I was this person. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It's been times when my grandmother called me and was like, I heard you beat up such and such. Go apologize to his parents. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on my cell phone. Y'all remember the No Kids, right?
Yeah.
We changed the faces on them things. You know what I'm saying?
With the snake.
Yeah, the snake. You know, I'm picking up the No Kid, and I'm like, yo. And grandma like, yo, I heard you got into it with such and such. Their parents talked to me at church. You know, you need to go apologize to them. And I'm like, grandma, you know, this is a different lifestyle out here. You know, they don't know what's going on with their child,
right.
just like you don't know what's going on with me. Right. And it's some protocol that I had to take to do that. And
right.
she was like, protocol? What are you talking? It's not a job. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it was taken so seriously.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the way the gang life was presented to me was a brotherhood, a family, and saving our community.
Mm-hmm.
That was the way they put it on you. And what's so crazy was the steps that you take to be a part of it and to be a part of something that you think is so great.
Right.
That's you thinking you're training your brothers and building them up for
right.
society is really breaking them down.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? 80% of the people who join gangs are not happy in their own households. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, they don't know who they are. And as men of God, we need to go back and show these younger generation, you have a purpose, you're important.
Right.
No matter what's going on in your 3-bedroom house or your
right.
2-bedroom apartment,
right.
your purpose is far greater than your street you live on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your purpose is far greater than the set that's running around your school right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
You know, so you got to understand purpose and power and man, I got to go into it. You know what?
So is that when you birthed your purpose? Is when you went to prison? Is that?
Well, that it's like my life breaks down in sections.
Okay.
So you got my life as a gang member, and you got my life as a drug dealer, and then you got my life as a prisoner. You see what I'm saying? It all breaks down into like different sections of my life because I was a different person in each form. You see what I'm saying?
So what kind of person were you in each state?
Well, in the gang phase, I was looking for approval.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I never had a man to prove myself to. So I proved myself to the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to gain the respect of the streets when I didn't know that that street credit is only temporary. You know what I'm saying? No matter who you are, it's never permanent.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm in this gang life and I'm doing this and I got in so much trouble. My sister had joined the army at this point and they sent me to Texas. I had somebody going around saying, a whole set saying that they was going to murder me. And word was going around, bullets was being left on my grandmother's porch. And it was crazy. She was like, I'm sending you to Texas with your sister, right? So, you know, I have felt a certain way about my sister. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For leaving me, you know, at one point. So I'm like, oh, man, you know. But I get out here, and what they thought they were doing was sending me somewhere where I couldn't be around gangs and I couldn't be around drugs. But Texas, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, it amplified everything that I was doing. I thought I knew gang life where I was. No.
Texas.
Nah, man.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Dude, I go to Texas and they let me know what's going on with myself, and they trying to look me up in the books, seeing my name in the books, and man, it was crazy. I was just like, yo, I didn't know it was this technical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and they was like, well, you know, we gonna make sure you officially you now. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you go in every state you go in, it's a person that you need to call to make sure that this is your rank in every state and this is who you are. And I was just like, wow, this is mind blowing. So I was like, you know what? Cool. You know, it kind of scared me a little bit because I didn't know it on the level that I thought I knew it on.
Right.
And Texas pulled me up and showed me that. So what was so crazy was I'm learning all this. At this age, I'm about 15. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready. I actually stayed back while I was in middle school. So I'm actually getting ready to go to 9th grade at this point.
So this is still approval, right?
Yeah.
So is this going into the next phase?
Yeah, we're about to go into the drug dealer phase.
Okay.
So at this point, you know, I'm in Texas, and I seen a cat so young. He was like 13 years old, and at the time, 22s was the biggest rims at that time of my life.
Right.
And I seen him in a drop top box Chevy on 22s, and he was by himself, and he was driving, and he was just flossing, and we on the strip, and I'm seeing him, and I'm like, yo, this dude looks so small, man. He look crazy young. And it was like, that's such and such, man. You know what I'm saying? Dog, no matter what age you is out here, if you can get it, you can get it.
Wow.
So it changed my vision because back where I was, I thought you had to be an OG to have that. Right. I thought you had to be a certain age and a certain mentality, you know, a certain type of respect in the streets to have that. Mm-hmm. But down here, I'm seeing it on a whole nother level. It opened my nose up, you know? Mm-hmm. And literally, I was just like, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? And what was so crazy was I connected with a couple fellas that I was just cool with after a while. And they showed me how to get into the game. And eventually, I set it up to where I was getting dope back on Greyhounds, meeting me in Atlanta to bring back home.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was back in my hometown without my sister even knowing I was gone yet. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And what was so crazy was, man, God is so good, man. When I was down there, I got involved with a pimp. He just ended up living next door. You know, and I just knew something.
Just in the area.
Yeah. I just noticed that he always had women over there, and they were washing his cars and doing all kind of crazy stuff. And I was just like, I mean, what is he doing? Yeah. But eventually he called me over there and was like, what you doing, man? I ain't never seen you around here before. And he inquired about my sister, and I had a real hot head at the time, so I was like, well, ask me about my sister, blah, blah, blah. He's like, calm down, young blood. And so, man, what's so crazy was he pulled me in, and I ended up being a part of that lifestyle with him. But because I grew up in a house full of women, it affected me seeing that. You know what I'm saying? It affected me seeing it. And make a long story short, he ended up getting locked up during that time that I was down there, and he didn't have anybody that he trusted, so he was just like, tell Shawn to drive y'all around. You know, so they come next door, knock on my sister's door, and they're like, yo, Pope said drive him around. You know, drive us around, help us make our drop off. He gonna pay you this, we gonna pay you that. So I'm like, yo, hold up, what? You know, it's crazy to me. I'm so young, man. You know what I mean? And
How old is that? 15?
15. I'm involved in gangs, drugs. I mean, I'm about to get involved in the drugs now. And now pimping. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like it, so I constantly kept telling these women, I was like, why y'all do this? Why y'all do this? Why y'all do this? Why y'all answer to him? Like, I didn't understand pimping. You know, I didn't understand it. And it was just like, well, he makes sure this and he makes sure that, he makes sure this, he makes sure that. But coming from where I was coming from, I always did everything alone. Right. You know, I didn't know any other way. So I was telling them what was so crazy was I was just like, yo, we could figure another way out to do this, you know what I'm saying, to make some money. And I asked them, yo, who can we, you know, get with to see if they can hook us up? Like, I talked to a couple of people who said they had weed, but what's going on? And then they was like, yo, it's this dude, he a big baller, he work at this club, and they just put me onto this lifestyle where they connected me with him, and then I ended up getting these females to sell drugs instead of prostitute.
Wow. So how did we get to prison? Like,
all right,
how we get there?
Yes.
How we get there?
So now, I got involved in drug life in Texas. I made a major connect, and I brought it back home with me. Mm-hmm. This is when it all started. You know, okay. I was selling ecstasy at the time. Mm-hmm. I hadn't started selling the cocaine yet, and ecstasy was just really new. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was just hitting the scene, and I was the only one bringing it into my city at the rate that and the quantity that I could. And then I started seeing something. I started seeing that the brothers that I used to bang with get jealous. Brothers that called me their brother, that loved me, you know what I'm saying? I would continuously give them packs and give them work, and they would just blow it. Without trying to make it happen more, you know, re-up and do it over again. And it was hurting me because I was trying to help them come up. But they were looking at me like, you our little brother, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing. Right. And eventually it pushed me away. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't showing up to the gang meetings no more. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care about creating my own set after a while. What's so crazy was I was at that rank where my son would be born blessed in. You know what I'm saying? So now I got a son on the way, right? Wow. And what's so crazy is I have to make a decision. You know, either I find a way to get out, or I go ahead and I let my son be blessed into this. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get a certain rank, your first son is blessed into this. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, I was like, everything that I done did, all this stuff that I done did to get the street credit, all this money that I made to make sure that my son ain't gonna be a part of this lifestyle.
It's gonna transfer right to him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no. So I gotta figure a way to get out of this.
So what was your exit strategy? How did you end up separating yourself from that?
All right, so it wasn't easy, man. It is hard. You know, I gotta leave some things out. Right. But you have to go through a certain. You know, you gotta vote. You know what I'm saying? All the people who know you, serious people that's on your side in your city, they all vote and they say, okay, you know what I'm saying? What y'all think? And then once that happens, they create another meeting, and you have to drop 6 pennies on the ground, and hopefully you can get them all up. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get them up within your 21 seconds, then you can't get out. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
What's crazy is that's the only choice that I had at my rank, and that was a good choice.
Wow.
The lesser rank you are, the harder it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I got down, I'm a young child and I decided to get down to that. And 3 months later, it's just not working for me, or a pastor came and talked to me.
Right.
They gonna tell me no. They gonna say, no, you can't get out.
Wow.
Or another like certain other guys in other sets, they will make you think you can get out and tell you to do a series of things. And then they're actually telling you to do more and more and more and more things and trap you in there, man. So, you know, when I got in that drug life, I went through that with my son. He was about to be born into this, you know, this gang, and I couldn't fathom it.
Right.
So I went through every step that I could. And the worst step that, well, the thing is that it was brothers that I really loved. Right. You know what I'm saying? I really looked at them like family. And for them to turn it back on me during that time. Now, I had the main brothers still love me.
Right.
But the brothers that I was in the trenches with, like I felt like I was with on the war field, turning it back on me, it was hard. And when you get out of any gang, this is protocol. They have to announce to everybody who you had beef with in rival sets that you're unprotected.
Oh, wow.
So now I got the whole city after me. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, y'all, he's schooling us right here. The real life. Like,
Yeah,
it's not a game at all.
This is not your suburban neighborhood. This
No.
is not your cookie cut
Nothing
houses.
to play with.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's crazy, man. I was so young to have so much stress, you know.
And all this before what, 17?
This is, yeah. Right, matter of fact, I'm 15, 16, 17. All this is crunched in to this one area right here. And man, so the whole city is after me. I'm considered not protected anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm selling dope, but the way the city's looking at me is like I could trade my own neighborhood, my own set. So a lot of people not rocking with me no more. You know what I'm saying? At this point, this is when my drug dealing amplified to the point to where I started going to other cities outside of my area.
Is that how they got you?
This is how it starts, yeah. The moment I stretched out and started hitting highways, coming down here to Gwinnett County, you know, coming down here to Duluth, going to Charlotte and going to Virginia and hitting these other cities, making other connections, big deals. That was when I started dealing with a fella that ended up being, you know, a fed, you know, and it messed me up, man.
Oh man.
So how long did when you finally got to the point where, okay, prison sentence, how long did you sit in prison? And at what point while you were sitting there did you say, okay, I gotta do something different?
Alright, so I'm gonna tell you the way I gotta tell you how I got saved.
Okay.
Alright, because all this is right
so
here.
you got saved before you went to prison?
I got saved in the county jail before I went to actually got
prison.
sentenced.
Gotcha.
And the way this happened was, the storyline. I had the dude that I was dealing with actually became a good friend of mine, and I had another guy that I was dealing with that was from the hood. That he was like my right hand man, and me and him was like really cool, you know. And so, I had got a crazy phone call, and we had got to that point where we were so made, man. We didn't even pick up our own dope anymore. We had somebody else to do this for us. Right. You know, we had somebody else to do that, and all we did at the end of the day was pick up our money.
Right.
You know, and so we made it seem like we were selling cars. Wow. You know, when we were doing big drops, we would literally get a beat up $1,500 car, but it'd have, you know, 2 keys in the trunk. That's $40,000. You know what I'm saying? So we would sell a $1,500 car to somebody with the dope in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we did transactions. What was so crazy was we would meet very close to police the police headquarters because that's where they don't expect to happen. Wow. The biggest drug deals happen so close to them because they don't expect to happen there. Right. You see what I'm saying? So we right there in front of them. You know what's so crazy was? I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy. One of the lieutenants came up to me one day while I was doing a big transaction, and they saw the for sale sign on the truck and a person acting like they're looking at it, right? And he was like, "Hey man, you got another one of those?" I mean, dude, straight up, Lieutenant Richland County. And I was like, yeah, man, you know, I'm in the car business, man, you know. And he was like, man, you got a card? I was like, nah, man, just do it on the side, you know. And he was like, man, damn, I was looking for one of those. And didn't even understand that it was a $60,000 drug deal going right then.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Right under his nose, man. And all we did was wave at him. As soon as he left, we left, you know. But so this is how it happened. I had a close friend, and we were dealing with one other guy, and eventually he got hit, and I didn't know. And the other guy was like, hey man, they got me too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the only one in the clear not knowing that they both got hit. They're communicating with each other to save themselves. Right. Meanwhile, I'm the one out here still going hard. Wow. You know? What even tangled me up even more is when I came down to Atlanta, I met a guy who knew how to make counterfeit money. Oh, wow. And me and him exchanged information because I knew how to brick cocaine up. Wow. Now that's a science. And when you learn how to do that, you can literally turn 1 brick into 2 bricks with synthetic stuff. And so that's money. If I can turn $20,000 into $40,000 without paying for it,
right,
then that's money. So people want to learn how to do this. It's like, you know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah, you're really putting it together like that.
Wow.
And so people want to learn how to do this. They want to learn the diagrams and the measurements of the crank machines that you use to compress them. They don't know none of this. So people will trade information with you. That's the hustle game. Once you're at a certain level, they say, hey, I teach you how to make notes. You teach me how to make crank machines.
Wow.
So I came down here and learned how to do that. And then, so now I'm not only doing drugs, I'm selling drugs, but I'm selling counterfeit money also.
But how did they got you for the counterfeit, or they got you for the drugs? Like,
Well,
how did they?
Well, it was a certain club that we went to clean our money, right? And the club that we were going through, where, remember I told you I already got 2 friends that got caught and didn't tell me. The thing is, I didn't put them in the loop on the counterfeit money. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't even know this was going on.
Wow.
So I'm in the club at this place, and my best friend is with me, and he's seeing this transaction going for the first time.
Right.
And he's like, yo, what's up? I said, yo, I'm about to bring you in on something that's crazy, da-da-da-da-da. So he's like, dang, that's what's up. You know, and like 2 days later, right before I was about to bring him in, he calls me and was like, yo, I was going back to the story now. He was like, yo, I need you to pick up something for me. And I was like, really? Like, come on, man, that don't even make sense, you know?
Right.
The storyline, because we hadn't did this in about 7 months. Picked up some work for each other. The only thing we do is pick up money at this point. And man, what was so crazy was he was like, man, my mom, you know, she going through some stuff. I gotta go over there, man. I just can't go do it. And you know, the person that I was dealing with, they not answering their phone. I need you to go. You're my brother. I love you, dog. Like, he changed it to the love. He switched it over to me thinking like, why would you want me to do that? To the love. Hey man, you know I love you, dog.
So you know
what I'm saying?
You know, okay.
So I'm loyal. I'm the
Loyalty,
loyal.
exactly.
You know what? Yeah, man, you're right. Man, you know you never asked me to do nothing.
Right.
You know why can't I do this for you? And the moment that I went and did it, I got rated, man. And that was
so he pretty much set you up.
Set me up. That's how it is. But that's the game. You know what's so crazy about it is, once you get to a certain point where you're making money and you're selling drugs, at that level, you don't get mad when you get caught at the person who set you up. You get mad at yourself for not seeing it.
Yeah.
So the whole time I wasn't angry at him because he did whatever he had to do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe in the way he did it, but the way he did it towards me, I wasn't mad at him. I was mad at myself because I was blinded and I didn't recognize it. And that's the rule to the game. If you get caught, you slipping. You got caught slipping, you deserve to get caught. And that was the rule to the game. But this is how good God is, man. I'm in this county jail, right? And at the time, I was with my son's mother. And she's on the phone and she's saying, hey, your bond is $150,000, no 10%. No 10%. So that means I can't pay $5,000, $10,000 to get out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm stuck in here until I come up with $150,000.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody putting up their house.
All right. So listen, I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy. I had money, and I had a certain amount of money, but I had them all on money orders, and that's how I cleaned my money. I would put my money on money orders and then recash it.
Right.
So I had a photo album full of money orders.
Wow.
Right. I didn't have 150K in there, but I had close to about 70.
Right.
And I called her. I called my son's mother, and I was like, yo, I need you to go pick up this money from this U-Haul spot that I keep it in. It was like a storage with empty boxes and stuff. Right. Like, this is real life, y'all. Y'all can look it up. I promise you this is real.
No, we believe you.
So I sent her to go get it. She was like, yo, I don't know what's going on, but the lock busted. All the boxes turned over. Ain't no photo album in there.
No.
Yeah.
They got that too.
She called my best friend, and my best friend was like, yo, Shawn snitching. Like, I've been locked up for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? And he went, and everybody who owed me money, he went and told them that I was snitching. So anybody who owed me money, give it to him, and he'll keep them straight from now on. So everywhere that I sent her to say, hey, I need you to get this money from them, everybody she went to was like, nah. You know, I don't have nothing but cars at this point.
Wow.
So I don't know what to do. So I get a public defender that comes in there, and I can't get a lawyer. I don't have anything.
Right.
And the public defender is like, hey man, they're looking at giving you 20 years, and that's a good deal.
Wow.
So I'm sitting here. I'm sweating right now talking about it. So I'm sitting here, right? And I'm like, yo, the dude next to me, my roommate, I came back in from off the phone, and he reading his Bible. I used to get angry at him, watching him read his Bible. I used to be frustrated. So I was like, yo, man, stop reading that thing, man. And he was like, he's just shaking his head at me.
Wow.
So I'm sitting here, man, I kept getting up in the middle of the night, pacing, thinking about my life, and it's ruined, you know?
Right.
And he was like, you need to talk about it, young blood. You want to pray about something? I said, man, I got time for no darn prayer, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got real life situations on you. I said,
Ain't no words to help me right now.
I said, man, you know who I am? You know, I got cocky with him. You know who I am? Boy, I'm making all this money. He was like, what is to do it for you now.
Wow.
And I was just like, shut up, man, don't talk to me no more. So all right, next day come, right? And the next day, I had a friend in the dorm who came to me from his side of his tier, and he was like, yo, Shawn, he was like, brothers in the streets find out you used to be crippling. And they find out you got out, and nothing but a dorm full of Crips in here. They don't like that.
Wow.
So I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, man, they talking about, robbing you, taking everything in your bunk. And he was like, they gonna do it at lunchtime tomorrow, man. So I just want to let you know, hey, you ain't hear this from me, but, dude. So I got a whole rest of the day to go, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm tripping. I'm like, oh, snap, no matter how much respect I had in the streets, didn't matter at this point. No matter how much drugs I sold in the street and how much money I made, it didn't matter at this point. That's why I'm trying to talk to these young brothers and tell them, man, it don't matter how much you do in these streets, man. When you go back here, you start from scratch. You start from scratch. And anybody can say anything about you, and tomorrow it can be a lie today, and tomorrow they believe it's the truth, and they'll ride on you for it. Mm-hmm. And you can die for a lie in prison,
That's crazy.
So what's so crazy is, man, that night, I got on the phone again, and I talked to my son's mother, and I told her about what was going on. And then you know what she told me? This is stressing her out too much.
Oh, wow.
She said, I can't do this.
And she left you again, so another person.
Another woman that I loved.
Wow. God just
shifted on me, man. So what was so crazy at this point was, here I go again. You know what I'm saying? I go back to this room, and I'm hurting, man. I'm hurting. But my roommate is asleep. It was lights out.
So what you do, sneak his Bible?
I'm gonna tell you, you're close. My roommate was asleep, but it was lights out, and I was standing up, and I ain't want him to see tears coming down my eyes or nothing. And the light that was coming from the little slot on the door was shining directly on his Bible, right?
Wow.
Dark in the room, little light Bible, just directly onto his Bible sitting next to his bunk.
So it's definitely God.
That's God.
So let me tell you, I get angry with God. I said, man, what you want from me? I said, all my life, man, I've been struggling and hurting and hustling, just trying to get up and just trying to be better. I'm trying to stop this, man. And I'm just so emotional, man. And I keep looking at the light hit the Bible as I'm looking up.
It's calling you.
Yeah.
This is what I want.
And I was like, I ain't touching it. And I'm angry and I'm crying, man. And then you know what? I said, all right, I'll tell you what.
So it's like you knew God, but you never really lived a life for God. So it's like, look, I've been doing this on my own. Yeah. Like I didn't need you then, I don't need you now.
Yeah.
And the whole time he was like, you needed me
from the beginning, man. I didn't understand that everything that I thought was holding me back was God pushing me forward. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I didn't notice it. So here I go. I'm in this room, and I finally say, okay, you know what, God? This one time in my life, I'm going to pick up your word. I'm going to pick up your Bible. I said, I'm going to put my hand on the scripture. If it don't make sense, I ain't never picking it up again. I said, I promise you I said, but Lord, if you speak to me, and you speak to my heart, and you change my life, and you do something, I said, Lord, I promise I'll go for you like I went for Crib. I promise I'll go for you like I sold this dope. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I manifested all of that out of me. Like,
that just sent chills down my back. I'm just saying it because knowing where you are now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He touched you. What was the scripture that you read?
Man, 2 Corinthians verse 7 and 8.